I thought it would be a good time to make an updated Dark Ops guide for Black Ops 7 Zombies. Because there are now 31 unique Dark Ops challenges that you can complete. And there's also one Mastery Dark Ops calling card that you can unlock once you complete 15 of them. As of right now, the beginning of Season 3 in Black Ops 7, 30 of the 31 different Dark Ops challenges have been found. And we are still missing one. And apart from that, there are 1 or 2 Dark Ops that are bugged. But for this video, I want to show you all Dark Ops in chronological order, as well as give you a short ranking about the difficulty for unlocking them, so that you can decide for yourself if you want to go for those challenges or not. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. And we're beginning with the first Dark Ops challenge in the top left corner. And this one is called Anathema, and it's for eliminating 1 million zombies. So yeah, pretty straightforward, it's just a huge grind. And for that reason alone, I will give it like a 4 out of 5 difficulty rating. It's not hard to unlock in the traditional sense, but if it's time consuming, yeah, it's annoying. The second Dark Ops is called Armed to the Teeth, and it states have 3 Pack-a-Punch level 3 legendary rarity weapons equipped with ammo mods and 8 perks active. That one is quite easy to do, you just have to get the stuff that is mentioned and upgrade your weapons and all, and for that reason I will give it like a 1 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next we have the Dark Ops called Social Distancing, and it's for reaching round 20 without taking damage. This one in theory is quite hard to do, but if you abuse the car on Ashes of the Damned or just play co-op, it's actually manageable, and for that reason I will give it like a 3 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next we have the Dark Ops called Another Round, and it's for reaching round 100, and that one is quite easy actually. Because for example you can just use the sword traps on Ashes of the Damned to get to round 100, or if you don't care, you can just use the exploits that are in the game every season. Like right now, there's an infinite Casimir glitch going on that allows you to get to round 100 extremely easily. So yeah, for that reason, I will give it a 2 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next we have the fifth Dark Ops, and it's called Invincible, and it's for reaching round 50 without getting downed. Look, there are so many perks and things in the game that make reaching round 50 easy, and for that reason, I will give it a 1 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next we have another easy Dark Ops, it's called Harbinger of Doom, and it's for killing 100 zombies with a single score streak. Now there are various score streaks that you can use for that, and you should have no problem unlocking this one whatsoever. And next, the seventh Dark Ops is yet another easy one, it's called Box Addict, and it's for buying 30 weapons from the mystery box in a single match. So yeah, 1 out of 5 difficulty rating obviously, and it might be the easiest Dark Ops out of all of them. Moving on, we have the Dark Ops called Mythic, Cynic, and it states reach round 50 with all Ashes of the Damned relics active. So yeah, for this challenge you first need to unlock all 9 relics on Ashes of the Damned, which can be difficult on its own, unless of course you join someone who has, right? But yeah, reaching round 50 is also a pain in the ass with a lot of shock mimics and enemy health regeneration, so I will give it like a 3 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next we have the Dark Ops called Showboat, and it's for completing the Ashes of the Damned main quest at round 100 or more. And it's important to note that round 100 plus boss fights are more difficult in this game than, boss fights prior to this round. So it's kinda difficult as well as time consuming, which makes me give this a 4 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next we have the Dark Ops called Reliquary, and it's actually animated by the way, and it's for collecting all relics in Ashes of the Damned. Yeah, unlocking them alone is already quite a challenge because for some of them you need to reach round 60 on cursed mode and then do some requirement, and yeah, for that reason alone I will give it a 3 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next we have the Dark Ops called Hard Mode, and it's for completing the Ashes of the Damned main quest with the Blood Vials, Dragon and Buzz relics active. And that one gets a 5 out of 5 difficulty rating. It's quite brutal. Especially after they buffed the boss fight again in cursed mode. The enemy health regeneration from the Buzz relic, as well as Vivarian's aggressive moveset in a boss fight, truly makes this a challenge. And that's why it's one of the hardest Dark Ops in the game. Next we have Blitzed, yet another difficult Dark Ops, it's for completing the Ashes of the Damned main quest with Samantha's drawing and the teddy bear relics active in an hour or less. I would give it a 4 out of 5 difficulty rating because again you need to do it in a cursed mode, which has a more difficult boss fight compared to the standard mode, and you need to be quick, and it's highly advised that you actually use some pretty good gobblegums to be able to do this. And that's also annoying and requires some in-game stocked up resources like perkaholic gobblegums. so that you can speed things up and have a better chance of completing it. Next we have the Dark Ops called Lucidity, which you will get for completing the Tank Dempsey side quest on Ashes of the Damned. Another really easy thing to do, and for that reason I will give it a 1 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next we have the Dark Ops called Countdown, and you will get it for killing an elite zombie by launching it with a jump pad. And that's also quite easy to do, to be honest. Just bring a Cursor to low health and then use a jump pad and you will unlock it. I will give it a 1 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next we have the Dark Ops called The One, and it's for reaching round 999. Yeah, easily a 5 out of 5 difficulty rating here, if you do it legit. Of course, it's less impressive if you use exploits to get it, but the time it takes alone to reach 999 is a lot. And for that reason, I will give it a 5 out of 5 difficulty rating, no matter what. Next we have the Dark Ops called Action Hero, and you will get it for shooting and killing 100 zombies without reloading. Yeah, 1 out of 5 difficulty rating here. Not much to add, actually. So let's just move on to the next one. And this one is called Boss Rush. And you will get it for defeating the Ashes of the Damned boss fight in 5 minutes or less. And this one is actually quite easy to do if you just play in directed mode, and for that reason I will give it a 2 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next we have the Dark Ops called Martial Artist, and you will get it for reaching round 50 while only using melee and combat axes. And if I'm thinking about it, I have bad memories about this Dark Ops. I remember there being tons of factors that messed with this challenge. And it was hard to find out what was allowed and what was not allowed for this challenge, in terms of power-ups, ammo mods or augment effects. The challenge easily deserves a 3 out of 5 difficulty rating, if not a 4 out of 5, if we account for the buggy criteria. Next we have the Dark Ops called Ingenuity, which states reach round 50 with the Dragon Wings and Lawyer's Pen relics active. You know, I was about to give it a 2 out of 5 difficulty rating, but then I remembered Shock Mimics, and for that reason, yeah, it deserves a 3 out of 5 difficulty rating. Because of the relics, you have to deal with Shock Mimics as well as no power-ups, and reaching round 50 in cursed mode is also something that takes some time. So yeah. Next we have the first Dead Ops arcade, Dark Ops, and it's called Flushed for Cash. Earn 25 million in Silverback cash. And this one honestly would get like a 6 out of 5 difficulty rating, because the grind it takes alone to get this amount of cash is insane. I've read somewhere on a Reddit post that it would take like roughly 1,000 hours to get it. And when this one exploit was around, it took people 13 hours alone to get this done, by crushing Gobblegums to get more cash and, you know, unlocking the Dark Ops. So unless you're a Dead Ops arcade main, you will never get this Dark Ops done. I've made my peace with that, and I can only advise you to do the same. Next we have another Dead Ops arcade, Dark Ops. It's called Serious Monkey Business, and it's for defeating the Papa Bag in hardcore mode. And I think I would give this one also a 5 out of 5 difficulty rating from what I've heard. I've never done it myself because I just don't play Dead Ops arcade, but I've been told it's quite difficult. And if you're not a Dead Ops arcade main, you will struggle with this. Moving on, we have the Dark Ops called The Usual Please, and it's for drinking Juggernog 20 times in a single match. And I will actually give it a 2 out of 5 difficulty rating, simply because you can just easily do this in a co-op game, or with the help of Klaus in Ashes of the Damned, for example. It's just a bit time consuming. Next we have the Dark Ops that's called Ready for Publishing, and you will get it for fully researching all augments for, I think, 30 different items. It's definitely for unlocking all augments on the launch, perks, ammo mods and field upgrades. So yeah, just research augments until eventually you will get it. And for that reason, I will give it a 3, maybe 4 out of 5 difficulty rating, depending on how many augments you actually have unlocked prior to starting BO7. Because, for example, if you played BO6 and unlocked a bunch of augments there, they all carried over to BO7. So therefore, the amount of time it took to unlock the complete set of augments was less. But for someone who is actually starting brand new with BO7, this will take a while. And finally, for the last launch Dark Ops, we have the one called New Main, which states kill 1,000 zombies with each of the 8 dedicated crew operators. So yeah, pretty straightforward, just keep track of how many kills you get with each operator. You of course don't have to do this in a single match, but you know, just keep playing and eventually you will get it. I will give it a 2 out of 5 difficulty rating. Now it's finally time to move on to the DLC Dark Ops challenges, and we're gonna start with the ones for Astronomical. There we first have the Dark Ops called Echoes, and it's for completing the Echoes of the Damned side quest. And that is, by the way, the Nikolai side Easter egg on that map. It's actually quite easy to do, and I will give it a 1 out of 5 difficulty rating. Next, we have the Dark Ops that is still not discovered to this day. It is something that we can do on Astronomical, and we also have the leaked picture of it, of the calling card. I will show you, but as of right now, no one has solved it. And trust me when I say this, once it does get discovered, I will make a pinned comment under this video describing the criteria. I originally wanted to wait until this one got discovered before making this whole Dark Ops update video, but from the looks of it, it's just not happening. Or maybe the fact I'm making this update video will lead to someone actually discovering it. It would be kinda ironic if someone solved it minutes after dropping this video. Anyways, I will keep you updated on that front. Moving on to the next Dark Ops, we have the one called Astronomical. And it's for completing the Astronomical main quest with the Spider Fang, Civil Protector Head, and Golden Spork relics active. And this one is unfortunately still bugged since season 1.5, I believe. There was a time where people just got it rewarded randomly, including myself, although they didn't do the criteria for it. And the fact alone that Treyarch is still unable to fix this Dark Ops challenge also makes it harder to hunt for the last remaining one, since this one might also actually be bugged. And yeah, we just don't know for sure. Now, regardless, for the difficulty, I would give it a solid 5 out of 5 difficulty rating. As someone who has actually done it legit, although I didn't unlock it in the end, it's actually quite difficult and brutal. Calvaris with double the amount of damage is really something else. Now, moving on to the Paradox Junction Dark Ops challenges, we first have the one called Chronomancer, and it's for completing the Paradox Junction main quest, only paying to time travel once. Now, originally, when the map dropped, this requirement stated that you were not allowed to purchase time travel at all, but since then they actually changed it to one purchase. Simply because to account for the piano teacher step, I believe, but yeah. That's the challenge, and I would give it a 3 out of 5 difficulty rating. Moving on, we have the Dark Ops called Neutronomic, and it's for completing the Paradox Junction main quest at round 100 or higher. And yeah, I would also give it a 5 out of 5 difficulty rating. Reaching round 100 on Paradox Junction is already harder than on the other maps, and the boss fight on its own, yeah, is quite brutal as well. Because keep in mind, round 100 boss fights are always more difficult than the normal version. Moving on, we have the Dark Ops called the Bomba, which states complete the Paradox Junction main quest with all Mantis relics active. And Mantis actually is the code word for this map, Paradox Junction. I would give it a solid 4, maybe also a 5 out of 5 difficulty rating. The exploding zombies that deal so much damage are really a pain to deal with. And since it's in cursed mode and you will have no disciple injection to kinda cheese the tortured zombie step in a boss fight, it's also quite brutal. And finally, we have the Dark Ops called Relativity, which you will get for completing the main quest on Paradox Junction in under an hour. Yeah, another speedrun Dark Ops. Thankfully, you don't have to equip any relics for that this time. But yeah, I will give it a 3 out of 5 difficulty rating. And that was the last Dark Ops that we have as of right now. And as you can see at the very end, there's the Zombies Dark Ops Mastery calling card that's animated that you can get by simply getting 15 different Dark Ops challenges. But anyways, we've reached the end. Those are all the Dark Ops challenges in Black Ops 7 Zombies as of right now. The beginning of roughly Season 3. I'm sure the next map, Totenreich, will also bring at least 3 new Dark Ops challenges. So until then, that's it. Maybe we are lucky and find the missing one on Astronomical, but I will keep you guys updated. And thank you for watching, I hope this was helpful. And subscribe for more, and I see you next time. Bye.